Hello everyone. We are on MSC Arabia's Transatlantic cruise going from Southampton. We are going all the way to Barbados. Various people are getting off at various locations. So we are in Ponta Delgada this morning and it looks like quite a small cruise boat. This round building is the only cruise terminal that we can see from here. There are coaches lined up already. There are some private jeep lined up for private tours. And the early risers are going off for their excursions. They're not bad coaches for excursions here actually. Not like in the Caribbean where you have small buses, very tight. These ones are not bad, but we haven't booked any excursions. We have booked a walking tour, so we're gonna go do that. I think we have to walk into town or see if we can get a local bus to take us in, and then we'll spend the day here, a few hours on land, and then come back on board. We are here overnight and we don't leave until about 5:30 tomorrow. So we have a day and a bit in port. There is a marina right here as well with some small boats and what looks like a lido next to the sea, but it's too cold to be going in there. Otherwise in summer it would be a nice place to go for a swim. The weather was supposed to be rainy, but it seems to have cleared up, but there is still some low clouds over the hills. But on this side is very clear. This is the port and the lido, and loads of people are here swimming. I don't know if they're from the cruise ship or locals. And there's a swimming pool there as well, but it doesn't look like it's open. If you come out of the ship, you come out at the lower floor, but there's a lift here from the car park to come out, and there are guys standing here offering you tours of the island. And a walk from the cruise ship brings you to this pedestrian area. This is the gate. We'll find out what the significance of this gate is, but he said we'll meet you here near the gate.
These islands from the very beginning, but mainly because they were thrown out of Spain because of the Spanish Inquisition. Then they ended up in Portugal. All those who left the island. So many people have left the islands over the years.
This is a statue for immigrants who came here. This monument is for immigrants and emigrants, those who came to live here, those who left from here to go live other places, and those who in retirement have come back here. Portuguese on the islands of Azores are very welcoming to immigrants, so long as they integrate and speak the language, learn the language. These trees have really waxy leaves, so they can't create enough oxygen to live. So they have these external roots to give themselves enough oxygen to live. These are called New Zealand Christmas trees because at Christmas time in New Zealand they have red flowers that look like baubles, but here they obviously bloom in summertime, in June, July. And this tree is 152 years old because they have got support to keep the tree going. But in New Zealand the oldest tree is 60 years old because once it gets that big it just falls down and breaks. Very fascinating, interesting.
Now Teresa, she was a young nun when we Franco de Campo, when she had an statue of Christ made, and if you prayed to the statue, you would get healing for your family. This, she of course told about to the priest, who told about it to the archbishop, who told about it to the pope, and she was permitted to walk into Ponta Delgada and start a new order.
I guess this is how it's pronounced or spelled, Azores in Portuguese. Beautiful architecture.
For a country. It's from 1295, and the symbolism in it is red is the color of blood that was shed during the Reconquista. Green is the color of hope that the Reconquista will actually succeed. It did. And we have here 7 Christian castles surrounding the 5 Moorish castles in the middle. Second, does any of you know what the oldest one is? Of the clouds. Blue, the color of the sky. We have here 9 stars for the 9 islands. Coat of arms of Portugal up here showing we're part of Portugal. And then here in the middle we have an Azores.
We are on the San Miguel, or São Miguel, as they call it, in the Azores.
Something called the Danish Garden Society. They're all plus 60, and there's nothing they love more than a tour guide who don't know his flowers.
In 1800s, I believe, the rich people of this island made their money by growing oranges, and those people who grew oranges and got rich, they built big houses and had these gardens for public use, and they used to love to bring plants from all over, but unfortunately some of them were invasive species like the ginger lily and the hydrangea, and one of them was brought in a fungus that killed all the orange trees in 1 year. So then the rich people had to sell their houses. That blue house at the background is a house from a rich person, which is now a government building, and so is this one. This was a rich person's house, and further down somewhere there is a rich person's house which is now a public school. So how things change.
These are used for lookouts. They would have a guy sitting out there looking for orange ships. The thing is with oranges is they start rotting the minute you take them off the tree. So you want to wait as long as possible before you pick your oranges. Friends Gonzalo, and I was complaining about the fact that I couldn't find anything. If he knew, maybe he knew where I could look. And Gonzalo looks at me and goes, "You want to know where JP Morgan lived when he was here?" Yes. Well, you could try to ask me. All right, I'm asking you. Do you know where he lived? Yeah, I do. He used to live in that house right up there, the yellow one on the corner. And I was like, all right, cool. But how do you know? I'm cheating a little bit, he says then. So how? Well, my great-grandfather used to play with him in the garden of Jesuits. That was where they were studying to become priests back in the days. And in 1832, like all the other monks in the island, they were kicked out. And this building was sold into private hands. And for many years, this was a place where they were storing wheat with a T, not a D. Today, it's actually a museum for religious art. Whenever there is a church or chapel anywhere on the island that are being closed down, they will be the first ones going there to see if there's anything worth preserving, and they will come and take good care of stuff. So they're doing a very important piece of work in preserving history in there.
This is the tourist office of Ponta Delgada, and 2 hours of walking tour later, we have come back to the beginning. I'm not sure if he told us anything about this one. This walking tour is the only free walking tour, so you would know which one it is. And he talks a lot more about the plants of the gardens of the island, a lot more than the history and the churches and all of that. So it's not the best that for us, but we are not very much into gardens and all of that. So we're gonna go find our hire car, because we've hired a car for a day here, and so we're gonna can go around the island. After we finished, we were very tired, so needed a coffee, and so we got a coffee and pastel de nata for €1.19. It took us forever to get the car, and where the garage is a long way from. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes it took us to get the car, and then brought us here. Anyway, so we're gonna go to see the volcano lakes and all that. We picked up our car and we're going along, minding our own business. And what do we see? Few coaches. They are from our cruise ship. The guy has a MSC sign on it. But here is not the lake. It's just the coast you can see from here. Or I think it's the coast. This is the map. And after you do your viewing, you turn around and you see the dreamy scene of the trees in the clouds. We have made it to the viewing point for the lakes, and the clouds have gone as well, so we shall have a view. And there is quite a few parking spaces here. It says parking for 20 minutes, which is plenty long enough to go and see the lakes. This is the view you get from the top. You can see the two distinct lakes, but I struggle to see different colors on it. Maybe it depends on the light and the sun, but it is beautiful. This whole area is designated as a natural park. They have lagoons and springs and migratory bird walking trails, protected landscape area. I suppose if you were so inclined and you were staying on the island for a few days, then you could come and hike these mountains as well. And the cruise excursion coaches are parked here. As we were driving down, there was another parking spot, nicely prepared area with split short walls and stuff, and another view of the lakes. And I think this is prettier than the top one. This is a little bit lower down. Very pretty. I think this view is prettier than the top one that we saw. Here you can see the two different colors. See, that's the green one there, and this is more blue. I think you will see like if the sun is shining. Right at the top, and we saw the lake from the top, and now we are right next to the lake, and it's pretty with from all angles. We're not getting the full color spectrum of this on such a cloudy day, but still it's very, very pretty. There's some kind of a treasure or something. Let's go across the road and see the lake from the other side. There seems to be some sign of waterfall that might have been or is in winter, spring, something like that. But I'm not sure how there would be a waterfall here because I don't think it snows here. There are arches under this bridge for small kayaks to go through, I suppose. Nothing bigger can go through that. Let's cross the road. When you see this road from the top, it looks like it's a long ways down, which it might be, but it doesn't take very long at all to get down here. Even though you can see the mountains quite tall over there. These guys are fishing. This is the benefit of doing your own thing when you get off the cruise boat. So then you're not stuck with what the excursion takes you. You can take a detour and go do your own thing. There's so many ducks here. This is the church that was on the map that we took the direction to. It looks quite pretty. It's more the size of a chapel than a church. Somebody told us of this place called Ferraria and saying that, oh, can you see this car going up? There's another one coming down. She told us about this natural hot spring hole. So we thought we'll come and check it out. But of all the steep roads that you've ever driven on, this was one of the steepest one that we've been on. So see a car coming through just now. Yeah. And you get an idea of how steep the roads are. And there's one going up. And that guy's just stopped to let this one pass. So at low tide, it's supposed to have natural hot springs, where it's a hot bath where you can swim. But I can't see the tide being out because she said that the tide is low right now. But it doesn't look very low to me. But there is a swimming pool here. And it says Termas de Ferraria here. There is something here. Let's go check it out. This is meant to be low tide. On the plus side, we do have a nice sunset. And they do have shower areas here. There is one bit of hole where everybody is trying to go in or is in. There are people in. And the lady walking up did say that the water was warm. Well, that's not for the faint of heart. And there is a swimming pool here if you didn't want to go into the water. And we are planning on going tomorrow to another thermal spa place, but that's not a free one, but it's not very expensive anyway. So we are going to see if we can get there and then post the results on here. We are back at the boat. This is a bit of a seating area, and they have a conveyor belt for when the luggage comes out. This is our second morning in Ponta Delgada. We'll be sailing away in the evening about 6 o'clock. So again, it will be almost dark. So we might see a sunset as we sail away. We might not, depends on if it gets cloudy or not. And we hired a car and we've parked it right over there somewhere. And it is €1.20 an hour to park right here. So if you were here for a long time and you wanted to hire a car, or so parking overnight is not that difficult or expensive. It is from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. is free to park, and then it's €1.20, or whatever money you put in, it will give you that much time. So we put in €1, that's what we had. So then it's given us about 50 minutes. So we're gonna head out, and we're hoping to go into one of those hot spring spas today. So let's see how it works out. It's very green, and farming is a big part of their society still. They haven't forgotten the farming in the pursuit of development and tourism like Hawaii had. Now Hawaii is trying to change that as well. We're traveling through these small roads, and it's very pretty. You can see all the farming communities and tractors and trucks going through, and loads of cows, loads and loads and loads of cows. they're quite big on their cheeses too. We came to go to the spa, but the spa place, the hot lakes are timed, so you can go at 9 to 10:30 or 10:30 to 12, thing like that. So we bought our tickets for 10:30, and he said, "Oh, come and see the waterfall." So this is all the waterfall there is. It is quite pretty, but we had to walk through all of this. And here it looks like a hot spring as well. Not sure if it's hot or not, but there was a little bit of waterfall in the beginning. Well, we thought that was all the waterfall there is, but we walked down a little bit and we found this waterfall here. There is a set of precarious steps going all the way up. I think there were some youngsters. They were about to go up to jump down and do mountaineering or something. This is the sign that I luckily read, Salto de Cabrido. So we went and saw the waterfall, and this one says something like Central Hydroelectrica. Maybe there's a hydroelectric something or the other there. Look at the steps. And then after that there is no handrail, and then it goes all the way up. This was the waterfall that when you come in you see this little bit, and then you walk a little bit further, and that's where, behind this building, you go down the steps, and that's where the waterfall is. So we've come at our timed entry at 10:30. When we bought the ticket it was raining, but luckily it's cleared up. So you walk down this long path, buy your ticket up the path there, and then you walk down all the way until it's 10:30. Well, it's about 10 minutes to, and then we can go in to the bath from 10:30 to 12. So there's quite a few people that we saw turning up at that time. I can hear some waterfall, but I can't see it. There's a bit of a viewing point here, and this is the waterfall that I could hear before. These are the first of the thermal spas, and there's some more over there. This is the waterfall. You walk 2 minutes up from the thermal ones and you come in here, and there's waterfall here, and it is 23 degrees here. So I'm not sure how far in I'm gonna go, but my local swimming pool is 24 degrees, so should be alright, shouldn't it? There's pretty waterfall here. We had an amazing time at this thermal spa place with the natural hot water, spring water, and it saved me having to go to Iceland now. What I would recommend, well, they let people in 15 minutes before their slotted time so they can get ready and all that, and I would recommend 10 minutes before your end time, 15 minutes before your end time, you start going into the shower. Otherwise shower and changing rooms get really busy. So we're gonna go back into town, return our hire car, and get back on the ship. This is another lake, Miradoro de Pico, and as we came out of the thermal bath, there were signs for this, and this is one of the viewing points. There are all along the roads, they have little bits of parking spaces where people can enjoy the views. This is a bit of a lake and looks like sea beyond it, and on this side as well there is sea. It's quite amazing. Can you see? roads things parked down there. We've come all the way up. There are lots of viewing points and it's a lot more windier up here. So you get different views from different positions. There's sea on that side, sea on that side, and a lake in the middle, created by volcanic eruptions. I'm guessing millions of years ago, I have no idea. But this place is still a volcano and it could still erupt. So if you wake up, they say you are blessed that you've woken up. And we've been blessed with the sun shining today. In the morning it was a bit of rain. This is another viewing point, and we can see some cows here as well, up close. And this thing is broken, so they could potentially come out onto the road as well. And that's our cruise ship, all the way down there. There are about 4 of these minibus lines, and since we have a couple of hours to do one round of the city, it takes about 45 minutes to go around, and it only costs 50 cents per person. So we're going around the city on this little minibus. We had coffee and pastel de nata yesterday, but I couldn't leave without having another one. Well folks, this is it, the end of our 30-ish hours stay in Ponta Delgada. Have you been here? Have you come here to stay? Or have you been on a cruise boat? I think 30 hours, 1.5 day was, or 1 and a bit day was quite enough. We managed to see everything and do everything. Didn't go to the fort though, so I guess something to do for next time, if there's a next time. Don't worry about hiring a car. The service for ANZ was very good, and the roads are very easy. The drivers are not like Italians. They're very calm, quiet drivers, so it's very easy to drive around here. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time for travel and review videos. Bye. If you're still here, do hang around for the sail away, because sail away is going to be like 5:30 or 6 o'clock, so we might still have some light to see the ship sailing away, and not in total darkness as we have for the last 5 days. Everybody must be on board early because it's 5:30, the on board time, and I can already feel the engines moving. There are people standing by the gates. Those were shut a little bit before. Last look at Ponta Delgada. Sun's just now setting over there. Oh my god, it moves so fast. I was just here and it wasn't moving at all, and already I just saw the captain moving his boat, and we've pushed back so fast. I just went in to put my other phone down, and it was really, really moving fast. I love these lights. Oh, those guys are still there. Bye. The city looks really pretty with all these lights on. And look how fast we've moved back. Gosh. Bye Portugal, bye Ponta Delgada.